Okay, it says we're live. Hi, everybody. This is Bud Gibson from the Digital Summer Clinic, here to talk about companies and the experience that you can have working with interns in the summer clinic. Okay, so the one QR code that you need, and we also have the link up here, is the Digital Summer Clinic company interview guide. It has a link to where you can sign up for interviews. It has a link to where you can submit proposals to be in the clinic. Now, to give you background on what the Digital Summer Clinic is the Digital Summer Clinic is in its 12th year. We pair interns with companies. We hire 48 interns each year and put them together with 24 companies. Companies are almost all in the Ann Arbor Spark incubator. So we have some people coming in through the back here in the live settings. So that's some of the noise you've heard. So that's what we are in a nutshell. And so to find out more and see everything you need to know to apply, just go to this QR code or link. Okay. Now, if you want to participate, and we've had a number of people already sign up for these interviews, the process works like this. You sign up for an interview. We talk with you for 30 minutes. The interviews are 30 minutes. You know, we talk about your company, the products you have, who your management team, and that's the start of the application process. And again, here I have my link, DSC-companies for details and links. Okay, and that gives you lots of additional information on the companies. If you have questions, feel free to send me an email, fgibson@emish.edu. Okay, so we are live streaming this. Feel free to drop in your questions as we go along, and we will get them going here. And so we want to have a coherent information session where people can still interact, ask questions in the Q&A or the chat, and we'll pick it up no matter what platform you're coming to us on. We're live streaming via our YouTube channel, also our LinkedIn channel, and Facebook. Do we also have Facebook? Okay, so all three of those. Okay. So this is me. This is a somewhat younger version of me, but still looks reasonably like the me of today. That's back when I didn't always have to wear glasses to see. That's the big part that's changed. The clinic site is digitalsummer.clinic, and we have events at CDE-events, bit.ly CDE-events, but our events for this year have actually ended, but we just got it on there. We put on sort of a little roster of events each semester as the school year goes on. Okay, so our agenda: what is the clinic? Who is the mentoring team? Who are the CDE field team? And then the intern experience. Okay, so these are the mentors. Okay, I'm a mentor, obviously. I'm over there furthest on the right. We have Natalie Fang of Nochi Studios, also a mentor and startup founder, worked in the clinic with us for 2 years as a founder, hosting teams. So she's kind of seen both sides of the experience. Then we have Alankrita Pandey, who is a professor of management at Eastern. We have Kim Barker, who is also a professor of management at Eastern. We have Nick Woods, who's an executive in residence from Google. And so he is a Google executive and was in the clinic. If I recall correctly, it was 2018. So that's 8 years ago. And it kind of launched his career. He continued working for the startup he worked with in the clinic, then went to work for a big advertising agency, and now finds himself working for Google, and then also with us in the summer. And then last but not least, we have Sufyan Krunfla, goes by Dr. Q. And Sufyan is the head of the marketing department at Eastern, has a background in supply chain management, has both worked in supply chain and is a professor of supply chain management. So we've got a good, well-rounded team here with lots of different kinds of expertise. Now, our field team consists of Jonna Paul, who Kim, do you remember what Jonna's restaurant is called? I think it's Palermo Pizza. Yeah, it's Palermo Pizza. So if you're out Canton Way, kind of a well-known pizza place, by the way. Yeah, it's really good, as Sufyan mentions to me, and a family business. And they've got a franchise operation going out of Chicago, too, which has a different name, but same family. Then we have Victoria Malcolm. Victoria is completing her master's degree here in management information systems. Former school teacher, taught school for 4 or 5 years before coming back to work with us. And then we have Zach Yorman, who is our streaming YouTube expert. And interestingly, applied as a student last year to be in the clinic, kind of had his streaming experience sort of shoved off to the side, but that's one of the things we've made the most use of. He thought it was just a hobby, worked out great. Then we have Lale Walker, who might best be described as a micro-influencer, and also social media whiz extraordinaire. A lot of our more inventive social media had its genesis with Lale. Okay, so what is the clinic? The clinic is a 9-week, 90-hour mentored internship. So that's basically 10 hours a week on average. This year, we're going to be running from June 8th through August 7th. So if you look, that's exactly 9 weeks. And Ann Arbor Spark picks up the tab for those 90 hours. Now, interns, and this is why the interviews are so important, interns work on a project developed by the company in collaboration with the mentoring team. So that's during the interview process, one of the things we try to figure out is, well, gee, what would the project that the students work on be? Now, we don't hold you to that project. And in fact, the projects typically evolve at least a little bit. But the project kind of helps us pin down the topic area and the sort of people we should be looking for. Just to give you an idea, this year we will have between 500 to 700 applicants to the program. So we've got a large talent pool, and then the question becomes matching the talent with what the company is looking for. Now, the interns work in 2 cohorts. So we have 2 hours of meetings each week that are mandatory. So one of them is a coaching session, and that's where interns in a group, so we have them in cohorts, interns in a group present their progress to the mentoring team or some subset of the mentoring team, and then they receive feedback. Typically, interns are talking about various issues they're facing, and a typical one would be, well, my manager is out trying to drum up business and I haven't talked to them in 10 days and I'm not sure what to do. I mean, real examples here. And then what we usually do is we come back and we say, well, why don't you put together a little proposal of what it is you think you should do, get their buy-in so that you can effectively become a more autonomous contributor of some sort. And companies tend to like that too. So that's really what mentoring boils down to in a nutshell. And then the next hour of the week, the next hour of the meetings, which is on Thursday at 7 p.m., we have all hands meetings with exciting guests. Now, those exciting guests might be companies from the clinic itself, so people who are hosting interns. We've been hybrid every year since 2023, and we think that our model works where we have 1 hour of in-person meetings with 1 hour of virtual coaching. The coaching actually works best in a virtual setting because multiple people can contribute through our message board as well as anybody who might be talking at the moment. And then the all hands meeting is good because it gives us a chance to develop some rapport. Now, so we do that. And we've had really good success with that model, kind of developing esprit within the clinic intern team, and kind of helping really set our norms for the clinic and what it means to be a success. Okay, now let's come back to these interns that we're recruiting. Okay, so I mentioned we're going to have between 500 and 700 interns. So these are interns who are in college or just graduated. So they're very early in their career path. And in fact, we bill it that way. We're looking for people who are looking for their first professional experience. And so, so if we have somebody who has done something like gotten an undergrad degree, and then spent 4 or 5 years in the workforce, and then have gone back to get a grad degree to continue on with the same thing they were doing, well, they're not really a good candidate for the clinic. Okay, because where we're focused and the types of roles that we work with in companies are really kind of more entry level. You want some raw talent to do it. In those specialized roles, it just doesn't work in our model. Okay, we have a wide range of majors. Okay, so we have computer science to media and visual arts. Okay, and so when we talk with companies about their projects, they typically bring up a range of things that they would consider doing that span these. Okay, and we encourage people to have a couple of things in the project that the interns could potentially do. We'll take teams, so we might have a computer scientist teamed up with a graphic artist, or a computer scientist teamed up with a PR major. Okay. And so these interns, they'll have applied coursework. Sometimes they'll have prior internships, and sometimes on-the-job experience. But this is something that they've done, maybe working part-time in school or like that. Okay, so this is not somebody who has years of experience. Many are business majors, but not the majority. Okay, so we pull from all parts of the university. I think one of the and by university, I don't mean we're based at Eastern for the most part, but we pull from all across Southeast Michigan. So the university, I think at this stage, we have something like 184 applications from the University of Michigan system. Okay, and we have 90 applications from Eastern Michigan University. Okay, so and then we have a sprinkling of all schools in between: Wayne State, Michigan State. Some out-of-state students have applied too because they have ties to Michigan. Typically, they were raised here. They went to school out of state. So, so when I'm talking about university students and majors, I'm talking about that whole wide gamut. But they all share one thing in common. They're working to gain confidence. Okay, they have talents, they have skills. They're just not sure how to really put them to use in a professional setting. And that's what they come to the clinic for. And that's what a big part of our coaching is about when we mentor them throughout the internship. Okay, so this is our pitch to students. And, we're connecting area students with digital careers. We hire 48. That's attractive because typically interns say, well, we're going to hire 3, or maybe we'll hire 10 from across the nation, all from, top tier schools, name brand schools. No, we're hiring 48 from right here in Southeast Michigan, and we're putting them together with 24 high-tech companies. It is paid. It's mentored, so it can help you figure out how to get things going. And it does pay $20 an hour, which is not bad for an internship. Okay. So again, going to end here with our QR code and link. Okay. And this is, and reemphasize that the interviews will be starting a week from today. They'll also be next Friday, then Thursday and Friday after that. So the interview is step one. Okay. And then and then we go from there, and we'll chat with you, and we'll kind of figure things out. We'll work up a potential project proposal with you, and then you submit that. Okay. So Zach, do we have any online Q&A? Okay, great. All right. Well, feel free to reach out to me, fgibson@emish.edu, and we'll end it with that.